Molly Haslund. Deborah Flamons. Benny Robert Jørgensen. Jacob Bors. And 1,000 thanks to the Warehouse 9 organization. Who is hosting us.
Thank you.
In the most beautiful manner. Jakob, do you get these emails from eFlux?
Yeah.
How many know eFlux? And I can't see your hands, just say yes.
Yes.
Quite a lot, yes. And how many don't know eFlux?
No.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we should explain.
They don't even know what it is.
Yes, it's coming up. eFlux is an organization which sends out art spam.
Yes.
But it's art spam on a certain level because it's rather expensive to send it out through eFlux. So when you know that you get art spam from eFlux, you know it's spam of a certain level. So if a certain institution of contemporary art that thinks rather highly of themselves, they're going to say, okay, we're having a new exhibition on, let's make an eFlux announcement. And then that is sent out to people around the world, to the art audience. And it's usually the text equivalent of an A4 page about this new project. Right.
I just wonder how they got my email. I didn't ask them, but you know.
Because they think you're a qualified art professional. I presume they have spies.
That's what works.
You know, like in internet spies. Who's,
Yeah.
There's activity around this person. We'll send it to him.
Okay.
Maybe you have sent out emails yourself to, announcing a show.
Okay, yeah. But I didn't, you know, because it cost, I think, around 4,000 kroner or something to get one of those.
To flux it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe you just spammed on your own, and then it ended up, with someone connected to eFlux.
Maybe, yeah. One of those spies.
Do you ever read them?
No.
I sometimes read them. And the other week, I decided, okay, I'm going to read all of them this week. And then I did. And I'm not a person who sits down to compose a poem or a song. But after having done that, I thought it necessary. So I'm going to play it for you now. I'm not quite used to this. It's another ukulele, which I borrowed from Molly. Molly asked me today, the knife store in Kulbyn, W.H. Larsen, are they still there? And I said, yes, they are. Well, then I'm going to bring my knives to be fixed. What do you slipen? Sharpened. I'm going to bring my knives to be sharpened at Larsen. And she had one of those boxes from this knife company where you put the knives. And Molly, you've lived outside Denmark for a long time.
6 years.
I don't see the other hand. 6 years, yes. And since then, there has been new legislation when it comes to knives, and you can't run around with a knife just like that. So Molly asked me, do you think it's going to be okay to bring out a whole box of knives out on town? Because she was going to Kulbyn, the meatpacking district, as they say, here with her ukuleles, and then she thought she could bring the knives in the taxi as well. And then I said, you might be in trouble. Woman with 3 ukuleles, a taxi driver with box of knives, unsharpened.
It went fine. The taxi journey went fine, and the woman by the desk at what was his job? What is his job?
W.H. Larsen.
Yes, exactly. She said, I asked her if it was okay, and she said, I wrapped them up in a kitchen towel. And she said, next time you wrap each knife up in a newspaper page and then a kitchen towel, then you'll be perfectly fine. So that's how you do that.
And you have to leave us.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that we had a fallout or anything, but you have to go to work. You have to go to a place where you earn money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here we go. And first attempt. If I get another art press release containing the word collaboration, I think I'm going to lose my mind if I get another art press release containing the word playful. I think I'm going to lose my mind if I get another art press release containing the word rethinking. I think I'm going to lose my mind. And then you can just build it on. And now I have the pleasure to announce the gentleman. Give him a big hand. Now, finally, some high-class entertainment here. A professional at work. You go under the name, civilian name, Christian.
Yeah.
But your professional name, your artist name, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Or your act?
Performance artist name, yeah.
Yeah. The Gentleman. How did you arrive at that name? I mean, when you think about it, yeah, right. But when you're sitting down to take such a decision, or you go out for a walk to take such a decision, there are a lot of choices.
Only recently, September, became The Gentleman. Before then was Christian van Schijndel.
Oh.
And then it...
that's your surname?
Yeah.
What was the surname?
Van Schijndel. You can say it better than me, you know Dutch, of course, better than I do.
Yeah, but I think Deborah knows it even better. How would you say?
Yes, but can you please say it again? I didn't know. There is also another... But how do you spell it? Yeah.
S-C-H-I-J-N-D-E-L. Schijndel.
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 Schijndel? Van Schijndel. Sorry, I spat.
I think you meant to.
No, I wasn't. I saw it. It sort of. It went past you towards him.
I'm leaving. Sorry.
He has to go to work.
I have to go. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for tonight. So I have to have you to myself. How did it happen?
What happened?
The name.
Oh, the name.
Yeah. We got stuck with the pronunciation. Now we've.
It just kind of evolved and happened, and then suddenly, it's The Gentleman. Yeah. I didn't set out to be The Gentleman. He just kind of evolved and happened.
Okay. It wasn't like a clear voice from a burning bush.
No.
Gentleman. Gentleman, listen.
Yeah, I think we should burn Bush though. Or we should have burned Bush, but that's gone now.
That's gone now. Yeah. Burlesque, what is it?
Burlesque.
Yeah. Does it need to be kinky?
No, it traditionally wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't until maybe when it went to America, when the aesthetics that we know now, when it was blended with striptease. Before then it wasn't. Burlesque literally means to send up. So perhaps...
To stand up?
No, to send up.
To send up?
To send up, yeah.
To God? Like, no.
No. But it means to send up, it means to make a comment. And what you do could be described as burlesque as well. Because you make a comment on society, or you make a comment on politics, and so, and yeah. So
okay, a message from the underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the...
Off the beaten track.
Yeah, it was the working classes, and they were making comments on the bourgeoisie, or they were making comments on the politicians, or so on, and so, yeah. And the tits and pasties and feather tassels and so on all came a lot later. So, yeah.
Now, being an artist, being a performance artist with a lot of experience, now, when you look out on the sea of people here, the sea of young, hopeful artists, what kind of advice would you like to give them?
Do it. Just do it. We all have something to say, or as an artist you have something to say, and you should just do it. And there's no point in hanging around for money. We just have to do it. It's a curse.
I like that. I like that bowl there. Yeah.
I think we should take it as well. Actually, I think we should go back to the boom. We do have a boom in the attic here at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, a boom stand. So, so if anybody wants to donate a boom microphone, then we have compatible material.
Then next show we could boom.
I can see you with a boom.
Yeah.
I'm for the boom.
Okay.
Definitely.
Christian, the gentleman, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Now, our next guest, Ole, are you here? Are you still here? Please come up. For those of you who haven't been here before, Ole is my favorite guest. He was on the first show here in Warehouse 9, which wasn't even called Red Alert, but called, I think, New York?
Yes.
Yeah, in November.
Yes.
And then you were here in December, and last month, February.
Yes.
And now you've gotten your own theme song.
I'm very impressed.
And the reason you were on the first time was that you had bought a sports car because you thought that was the dream of your life, to own a sports car. And you were very, very happy. And then you figured out it actually didn't make you happy. And then you sold it.
Yes. And I'm a better person now.
You're a better person now. Ole is a banker. And I also think it's like great with, you know, a sense of reality on this show. The oil price. What will be the consequences? No, it's going up again.
It's going up again.
Yeah, like even compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was like around $100. Today it's 107. That's a 7% increase in one day. What will be the consequences for the man and woman in the street, the average Dane?
I know the answer. Carrier bag gets more expensive.
Well,
It does for the everyday. No, but for the everyday person, a carrier bag, 20 kroner.
And what? I mean,
20 kroner for a carrier bag.
a carry back? Where was the carry back?
Carrier bag, a plastic poser.
Ah, I see. I went to London last year in December, and speaking to the locals, I realized I don't know English. I couldn't understand what they were saying. I was going with EasyJet, and every time I go with EasyJet, I say, "This is the last time. This is the last time. I'm not going to do it again." And I arrived in Heathrow like around 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was like in London. There was some snow. I was in London at like 3:30 at one of the stations, and then I tried to get a ride with a cab, and they didn't want to take me because I was going in the wrong direction, and they was sort of. I don't think it was just to confuse me. There was like. I understand, like, I don't, no. But I couldn't actually understand what they were saying. And I thought I knew English. I thought I could speak it, kind of. But obviously I can't understand it when it's like English.
The cab drivers in England or in London are not English. It's something we will not do.
Do you know, now they've invented a machine, it's like a brand new thing, that can take plastic and make it back into oil.
I've heard of it.
You've heard about it?
Yes.
Yeah. If you take 1 kilo of plastic, you get 1 liter of oil, and the cost is 20 cents.
I didn't know the price.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, everybody talks about the rising price in oil.
Yeah.
Like it's a bad thing, but in the long run, I mean, it's the oil is going to run out anyway. So the price.
Yeah. In 28 years.
In 28 years,
yeah.
Of course, that figure always remains sort of the same.
Yeah.
But to me, the rising oil prices are good news, because sometimes sooner or later we have to get rid of this oil. We have to. I mean, that's the only way to save the planet.
Yeah. I'm thinking, on the other hand, I can understand these people who sort of terrorize SUVs and puncture them and so on. I mean, when it's illegal, I can understand their feelings because it's bad for environment, burning up all this oil. On the other hand, I mean, there's no way that people are not going to use it. They're going to use all that oil, all those 900 billion barrels. And then I thought, why not get it over and done with? Let's just all get a sports car and just drive, and then get it over and done with. Go to the dentist, have it out.
I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, what we do now to save oil just drags out the pain. I heard the Danish, the Maersk, the merchant ships are reducing speed these days. Usually they sail about 24 knots, and it's not to get away from pirates, but that's their cruising speed.
Yeah.
And these ships.
And how many kilometers per hour is
that's
that?
About 45.
Okay, that's not fast.
So that's really fast. I mean, and these
is it
big
fast?
ships. That is fast for a big ship.
Okay.
That's very fast.
Okay.
So, but now these ships are going down to 8 or 9 knots.
A third?
Yeah.
That's like 10 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. And
save oil.
To save oil.
But
and to somehow drag out the pain.
Okay. Okay. Okay, next question. I've got some questions here. In 1970, an average Hollywood film cost $1 million.
An average what?
Hollywood film.
Yes.
In 1980, an average Hollywood film cost $10 million. 10 times as much.
Mm-hmm.
In 1990, Terminator 2 cost $100 million, and Arnold Schwarzenegger got $15 million to be in it. Can you explain that? What's going on there? Quick.
No. Inflation?
Christian?
Yeah, how much is a film at Warehouse now? I would like the 1970 budget.
You could do a miracle
Yeah.
with $1 million.
I can, yeah.
Okay. Very good. Oh, let's see. Okay, next question. I walked down the street the other day, and it was in Nørrebro, and it was this sort of section of Nørrebro which is sort of like it's the part of one of those parts of town which the town planners forgot. You know, there's like various quarters sort of meeting, and there's sort of it's like really undefined. But there's a Netto, because there's a Netto many places. And there was this poster, and it said, "Are you honest, stable and flexible? Er du ærlig, stabil og fleksibel? Then you're the right person for us." And maybe it said also ansvarsbevidst. Whatever that is in English.
Responsible.
Responsible, yeah. Are you responsible? Are you responsible, honest, stable and flexible? Then you're the right person for us. Come in and get an application form for a job at Netto. But how can you be stable and flexible at the same time? Is it a trick? I'm stable and flexible, and then then that person is dishonest. Like to work in your bank, we don't have to say which bank it is. Well, like, do you need to be stable and flexible? No, you need to be stable.
Yes, but actually, I thought about something like the same today.
Yeah.
Because today on my way here, because working in a bank, you need to lend people money, and eventually you're going to need to get them back. And when you look at bankers, you don't see them as like risk-taking kind of people. They're not people who like to take risk. But I mean, look at me. And still, that's your job, to lend people money, and that is taking risk, and that's in your professional life. What you have to do is you have to worry about everything every day. The oil prices, the real estate prices, everything you have to worry about every day, because it's your goddamn job to lend people money. But you're the kind of person who worries all the time, and who actually are not cut out to take the chance to lend some people money. So that's my life dilemma every day, and I have to live with it.
Oh my dear.
Yes.
I would have that.
It's very difficult.
But it's not your money.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Stay back.
I'd be, give it away.
Where's your bank?
But I thought, like, I mean, surely, in your line of business, it's like when people apply for the loans, you're flexible, and when it's time to pay back, you're stable. That's how it has to work out. Oh yeah, I had something here too. This is a personal thing. I got a letter from the tax office, Tala Skatt, and it said they would like to see me. So I went there. Actually, it was like the first time I was fucked up. It was the beginning of the year when I was depressed, and I didn't go. And then I got another letter. We're coming to your place. But shit. Also because how many things should I hide? And also sort of weird stuff what is this? And also, I couldn't hide everything because then it would look unnatural and empty. Some things would have, if I have 5,000 records, there needs to be a record player. But I called them up and I said, I'm sorry I fucked it up. Couldn't we do it at your place? That was fine. At the same time, yeah, that's fine. I'm not discussing that I'm not owing this money. It's just I can come to your place. Okay. So I did, and it was a bit like flying, because I was a little bit nervous, and also I had to go through a security check, through a metal detector, on my way into that department. And there was a security guard, he checked my bag, and very nice about it. Everything was very nice. What does it say here? Okay, and the taxman said, all of you owe us $250,000. And of course that wasn't like flying at all. Unless you have a very expensive ticket. And I do the EasyJet thing, of course. And of course I asked myself, how did I end up here? Is it because I drink double espressos instead of single? Am I using too much soap? Am I wearing out too many shoes by saving on bus tickets?
Just penalised at every step.
Yeah. But this tax guy, he was like very, very friendly. And he said, just sign this, and are you earning any money? No. And then he said, Olof, if you got an accountant, you would probably save a lot of money. And that's sort of like, someone at EasyJet saying if you want a nice experience, maybe you want to try Lufthansa. It's a bit shocking.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Comment?
It's an expensive advice. It sounds like the ones we give in our bank.
Because accountants are expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, but he said, even if you pay an accountant 20,000 kroners, you're probably going to save money. That's what he said.
Well, that's a statement.
Okay. Jag tar det för gåva. It's funny though, I owe them $250,000 krona, and last month you said you were considering to buy an art piece by Gudrun Hasse. The whole of the Communist Manifesto embroidered, the whole of it, and it costs $250,000.
Yes.
Yeah. And you said you were talking to your bank about taking a loan. So how is that going?
Well, not too good actually.
Okay.
No. Because they want the piece as collateral.
Oh
for
yeah.
the loan.
Yeah.
And
is it big?
yes, it is.
Okay. How big?
And well, it's
By a tapestry or no?
It's like, well, a few of these walls here. Yeah.
But you can roll it together, fold it.
Yeah. But I'm not so keen on giving it as collateral.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking along the lines. I mean, when you work at a baker stall, then you can get all the bread that you want.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was thinking somewhere along those lines in the bank.
Let's say that, you know, I mean, let's say at the end of every day you take care of the dirty bills.
Exactly.
You know, those like, you know, really hopeless and torn.
Yeah.
And then, you know what, you know, it's going to accumulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my strategy now.
Okay.
Else I'll end up owing them money, and that's not good.
Yeah. Any questions to Ole from the floor? You got any questions to me?
What's your idea about the oil prices?
I'm going to think about that until next month. I hope you can come back.
Maybe I should too. So.
Yes, we'll think about that.
Yeah.
You think about that as well. I actually have a few more questions, and then soon rest easy. Rest easy. We're going to wrap it up soon, but it's also the kind of show you can come and go as you like. But we're going to be finished very soon. 11, I think. Just a few questions or thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen to this. I walk down the street and I meet a friend, and he's got a pram. Barnable. Why is it called pram? Perambulator. Perambulator. Yeah.
I think you're in the right thing.
Yeah. What did you think about the King's speech getting all those Oscars?
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
I mean, the first person, I think it's absolutely marvelous. Marvelous actor. He did a good job. And I saw the film, and you know, it's history, English history drama, but you know, good. This is a good film. But then afterwards, it sort of faded very quickly, and I thought that Alice in Wonderland, you know, got mistreated. I thought it was a marvelous film. And
Tim Burton?
Yeah. And The Black Swan, which in all the isolated elements, everything was bad. The acting was bad, everything. But it had something that it was a truly cathartic experience. It didn't get very much. Okay, that was okay. Perambulate. Okay, so I walk down the street and I see an old friend. He's pushing a pram. So I ask him, "What's in the pram?" And he says, "I'm a father." In the pram, I say. And then he says, no, that's Eric. Oh, really? I haven't seen him for a long time. How is he doing? And then my friend said, I don't know. He can't speak. Okay. I've been reading a book about the history of civilization. And it's all that stuff about Darwin, natural selection. So the whole time there's improvement. We're better now, we're better than, 100 years ago. Great, I think, right?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, it's wonderful to know. And then I sort of think maybe capitalism has got a point. The weak stuff, the bad stuff goes away. The strong survives, and it's like, it's for everyone's best. Natural selection.
Maybe not everyone's best.
But then I continued reading in the book, and this natural selection, everything's improving. It's like true for all biological life. It's trees, plants, frogs, but also like germs, bacteria. They get improved, they get better. They get better at infecting people. And then I thought, capitalism, is it that or that? So we can think about that until the next month as well.
Yeah.
And that's it for today. I just have a little good night story to you, something you can think about when you walk home. So I'll read that to you if I can manage to see something. I saw something, like when it started it was no problem. Yeah, I was looking for my own. Medical. Yeah, okay. This is it. Maybe you can hold it.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. It's called Sunday Radio. I like to listen to talk radio. I have nothing against music, but when you listen to music on the radio, sooner or later you're in for a shock. Sooner or later, they're going to play something that will wreck your nerves. Some channels even manage to play music that wrecks your nerves constantly. And when people speak on those channels, it's going to wreck your nerves even more. Here in Copenhagen, I listen to the Danish P1, the national talk channel. There's talk, and sometimes it's utterly stupid. But stupid talk is not the same thing as nerve-wracking music. Stupid talk is more like something itching somewhere in your brain, while nerve-wracking music is a shock to your whole system. And sometimes, stupid talk can fire you up. It can make you think something you hadn't thought before. Sometimes it can even make you do something. And sometimes that something will actually be a good something. Even if it was caused by someone saying something stupid. If suddenly I simply cannot relate any longer, I tune over to the Swedish talk channel, which also is called P1. P8. And when that gets awful, I tune back to the Danes. And all in all, my system works rather well. And one could probably try to adopt something like it in other areas of one's life. There's just one problem. A problem that recurs with exact regularity once a week. On Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock, when Danish P1 broadcasts Sunday service from some church somewhere in Denmark, or possibly from something like the Danish Siemens Church in Paris. Swedish P1 broadcasts Sunday service from a church somewhere in Sweden, or possibly from something like the Swedish Siemens Church in New York. And even if it's a different church every week, I can't relate. I'm not religious, but Sunday mornings is one of those moments of the week when I think about my sins. So that's often a time when I do the dishes. And when I do the dishes, I really want to listen to something. So in the end, I tune into one of the music channels. And while doing the dishes and thinking about my sins, I listen to music that sooner or later will wreck my nerves. Thank you for tonight.